Ba'ashem Yahushua. Shalom to the elect, and the apostles, and all the elders and the other teachers that's bringing out this word and exposing these devils. Now, I just want to go into this topic about the chariots, because you have a lot of people that watch videos about stuff about this nuclear destruction that's coming upon Babylon, the lake of fire, and they like to scoff and say, well, how you going to escape? How people going to escape if don't nobody flee or leave or go to another country and all that? Well, as our ancestors knew back then, in past times, they knew about the chariots. They knew about the scriptures. Now, this sheet music right here, this is from a song in 1873, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. And the lyrics go, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? If you get there before I do, the brightest day the brightest day that ever I saw. I'm sometimes up and sometimes down, coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming for to carry me home. Tell all my friends I'm coming for to carry me home. And it say when Jesus, which you know in the Hebrew his name is Yahushua. It say wash my coming for to carry me home. But still my soul feels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Now this is a song where George Clinton and other people got these lyrics from, that Swing Low Sweet Chariot. You know, when they was talking about, when you go back into it and you look, and they say, I look over Jordan, and what did I see? Now, these slaves is over here in America. How would they know about the river of Jordan? And here go the information of the Jordan River. You look up the, that's how you know these are Israelites. There ain't no way around it. That's another reason why I'm going to bring this up. They say the Jordan River, in Wikipedia, say its section north of the Sea of Galilee is within the boundaries of Israel and forms the western boundary of the Golden Heights, south of the lake. It forms the border between the Kingdom of Jordan to the east and Israel to the west. Now, they was over here singing this song, saying, I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? I'm going to let this play real quick, and I'm going to just go into this other video and a few scriptures. Swing down, say chariots out there, let me ride. Swing down, say chariots out there, let me ride. Oh, everybody stomp your feet up in the balcony. Swing down, sweet chariots out there, swing down, sweet chariots out there. We gonna see if we can't get the mothership in here. Keep it moving, y'all. See, this is where they get this from, because, see, a lot of people now, they look at it like it's something silly, like, oh, ain't nothing out there, because you have these astronomers and NASA line, never a straight answer, that's what that shit stand for, but they come out and say, oh, it's green man and little aliens with big heads and shit on them ships. Well, clearly, when you read the scriptures, it describes exactly who and what is on those ships, and I'm going to get into it. I just want to play a little bit of this clip real quick, just for edification. Now, only Israelites would know about this. Now, you got this video with this guy right here talking about this astronomer, the guy from security team. But see, you got these Edomites, like I said, they think it's aliens and little green man. But the worst shit these devils fear is seeing a so-called black man come out them ships, that's ready to put in work for the Most High. But it says, define astronomer, alien UFO near Jupiter, prove me wrong. Because a lot of these astronomers, they know what I'm going to go into after I read this one scripture. This is in the book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 26. It says, even the mystery which hath been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to the saints. And this is a mystery still, because you have a lot of people there look at this and be like, oh, it's demons in them ships and all that. No, demons be on these damn people. They ain't in no ships. So it's all type of information backing up what the scriptures say what people see, people record it. I've seen them personally, so I know they definitely out there. This ain't something that I just come across or stumble across and be like, oh, I feel like talking about this. Now I know how serious this is, so I'm gonna let this play and I'm gonna go into some more scriptures.
After 2 years, reporters and journalists got in touch with this Harvard astronomer and professor, which, by the way, this guy is not just your average everyday astronomer working for some college somewhere. This guy is the head of astronomy at Harvard.
So and these guys have some high powered telescopes too. So they able to see stuff that most average people don't normally get to see. So I'm quite sure he don't seen plenty of these ships, and he might even seen some of the angels. But they put gag orders on a lot of these people, and they don't bring out this information. But fuck these devils, I bring out the information.
The chairman. Some would say he's the top astronomer in the world, and this guy has a list of credentials that would make even the biggest scientists and astrophysicists get weak in the knees. This is a guy with 3 decades of Ivy League professorship and hundreds of astronomical scientific publications on his resume. And so when he was recently asked, in light of all the criticism he's got, because believe me, ever since he came out with this scientific paper saying that this object that came through the solar system in 2017 could very well have been an alien spacecraft of some sort, he's gotten a ton of criticism from his fellow colleagues in the scientific community. And not just criticism, but downright attacks. The kind of attacks that would make you think that many of these other scientific...
See the shape of this? Now I'm going to describe this shape right here. It says, in an infrared photograph of one of the gigantic cylindrical objects taken by Hubble in the rings of Saturn. Now look how huge this is compared to the rings. Now I'm going to read a book of, book of Zechariah chapter 5 verse 1. It says, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. Now you see something cylindrical. Hey, look, that's a flying roll right there. You can't get around that. It says, and he basically was talking to the angels. And it says, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. And when you look at the size, it mentions the size by what the precepts normally be, 30 feet by 15 feet. So that's, you guys just visualize that ship size. That's a huge ship, just flying around. I'm gonna let this play just a little bit more. I ain't gonna make this too long.
And astronomy people have a very clear agenda, as they often do anytime someone, especially in the mainstream, comes out and mentions anything about aliens being real or UFOs.
Oh, here they go, this damn ads. Fucking Valentine's Day. Oh, and through the spirit, I know this is off topic, but a lot of people gonna be getting put to death on Valentine's Day for the damn adultery shit too. Cause this one heavy adultery go around.
You want to be in business this Valentine's and make someone stay while you're at it?
Visiting us, they are always almost unanimously attacked at all sides from their colleagues, and this guy has been no different. And so when they recently contacted him, said, do you still believe that this object could have been an alien spacecraft? In light of all this...
See, once again, Esau exposing Esau. Say Harvard's top astronomer says alien ship may be among us, and he doesn't care what his colleagues think. Because see, his colleagues, they don't want this information to come out because they know how serious it is, and that's how serious it is. I'm going to read another scripture in the book of Zechariah chapter 6. And see, another thing too, you have a lot of people be like, oh, this the white man book. No, the hell this ain't. They can't even break this down. You got to have the spirit on you to break this down. It's in the book of Zechariah chapter 6 verse 1. It says, and I turned and lifted up my eyes, and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains, and the mountains who are mountains of brass. Now, what that sound like to you? You do the math.
Criticism that you're getting. He basically said, the hell with these guys. I don't care what my colleagues think. All of the data surrounding this object points to it being of an artificial nature. Whether it's just a piece of, an ancient alien craft, or a whole alien craft, or some sort of alien probe, he is standing firm. And it's all in this new article here, one of which I'm reading from the Seattle Times, titled, quote, Harvard's top
All
astronomer.
right, let me play some more.
Some of the critics
Just for
is
imagery.
not an alien
What'd you say?
spaceship, and the authors of the paper insult honest scientific inquiry to even suggest it.
Yeah, of course they're gonna do that. This is in chapter 6, verse 2, in the book of Zechariah. It said, in the first chariot were red horses, and in the second chariot black horses, in the third chariot white horses, and in the fourth chariot gristle and bay horses. It said, then I answered and said unto the angel that talked with me, what are these, my Lord? And the angel answered and said unto me, these are the four spirits of the heavens, which go forth standing before the Lord of all the earth. So these chariots, and they still manifest. You just had another sighting down there in Brazil recently. So if you get a chance, look that up. They go to and fro. The Most High giving their orders. They do what they're supposed to do, then they go back. That's why when they show this object right here, it was zipping around the sun, and it went back where it was going at. And Most High could have, I don't know exactly what he told the angels to do, but he could have just sent them on a little mission just to reveal themselves as a sign to let the elect know, hey, we coming closer and closer to them days, and when them chariots gonna swing low.
Other theoretical astrophysicist wrote in Forbes magazine, quote, that this was a shocking example of sensationalist, ill-motivated science. And mind you, what's funny about this is with such vitriol in these attacks, these scientists who seem to be 100% sure that this is not an alien spacecraft and that this top Harvard astronomer is just out of his mind, well, they don't.
Yeah, they say the guy out of his mind. Of course they're gonna say it. I'm gonna read another scripture, and then I'm gonna end this off. It's in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13. This was coming for these devils. That's why his colleagues don't want this information to come out. It says in 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 1, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the ways thereof. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Talking about them lasers, because these chariots got lasers on them. That's why they created this space force, because they plan on fighting. And it says, all they burned that heard his voice. Like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Which is talking about them fighting, because they plan on fighting. All these countries, they get ready to go to war, but they're going to stop going to war against each other, like the guy Ronald Reagan, when he was talking about would all the countries come together if it was an out of this world threat. And that's what he was talking about. It says in verse 6, it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had created himself a great mountain and flew upon it. Now back in Zechariah, it talk about what it says in chapter 6. It says in chapter 6, verse 1, and I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came forth 4 chariots, and from between 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of brass. That's talking about how these chariots look, because some of them be gold, brass, metallic, silver, crystal looking, topaz, sapphire, all type of different elements. I can go down the list, but I'm trying to end this off. I ain't want to make it too long. It says, created himself a great mountain in the book of 2nd Ezra, back at chapter 6. It says, what I beheld, and lo, he had created himself a great mountain and flew upon it. Verse 7, but I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not. After this I beheld, and lo, all they that were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid. And yet there's fight, because the Most High going to put the spirit on the fight, because they're going to see all these angels, and they're going to be so shook up and scared. They ain't going to want to fight, but he's going to put the spirit on them to fight. In verse 9 it says, and lo, he saw the violence of the multitude that came, and he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw Now he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they that were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and a great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And that's going to be a scary sight, man. And that's why our ancestors get these images from, because they knew about the scriptures. They seen the chariots. They seen how they came. So call all your Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, and Shalom to the elect.